everyone! Hello and welcome to another stream of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirits of Justice. Today we're gonna get a lot done in this game. There's gonna be a lot of craziness and backstabbing and deals, like Apollo was mentioning here, and big reveals, and crying, and laughing and crying. Hey, Captain Chips, let's go. You're the first. How you doing? If I don't take this deal, we'll be executed along with Dhurke if he's found guilty. What should I do? Hey, Mafia babe. How you doing? Yeah, I think we'll continue the defense. Should we just end the game now, Mafia babe? Just forget it. Forget it. Who cares about Dhurke? Whatever, who cares? Nah. No? You say no? Alright. Let's continue it. Welcome to the stream. The case is over. Bye! But yeah, it's good to see you all. Hope everyone's doing today. Nice try, Garan, but it looks like you don't know what justice is made of. We won't kowtow to threats like that, Your Eminence. You're alright, how are you? I'm good. I, won't be live tomorrow morning, just to remind you, because I have a stupid dentist appointment. But, hopefully the next day things will be back to normal. Hopefully. Hey, Keneally, you're being late. Nah, you're not late at all, really. You're 2 minutes late, which is not terrible at all. We won't kowtow to threats like that, Your Eminence. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, but I can't back down now. I don't want to drag you into this, so don't worry. I'm with you, Apollo, to the bitter end if need be. And while I can't say I'm used to it, this isn't exactly my first rodeo. But if I'm found guilty, you'll get the death penalty too, even knowing that you still want to defend me? I don't know what happened in the past, but it looks like everyone in this country considers lawyers to be liars. 2 minutes is a lot. You're usually punctual. Oh no. It's like the guy that got expelled because he was late to school by like 30 seconds. That's crazy. Oh, liars. So I can understand if you don't believe me, but I still believe in you and your innocence. All I have to do is keep believing and find the truth. That is all there is to it. So keep on fighting, Apollo. You'll hear no objections from me. You nincompoops! You'll die if you lose this case. Why would you even entertain the notion of continuing? I believe that Dhurke is innocent. That's why. And besides, trials exist to give the truth a chance to get out into the open. You can't give up just because you're afraid of some punishment. Head and ears feeling better. Hope everyone's doing good. We are, hopefully. Even if that punishment is death, does that not frighten you, Hornhead? Who wouldn't be scared? I mean, just thinking about it. Makes me weak in the knees, to be honest. But as a lawyer, I have a duty to protect my client. I can't just abandon that. A duty you're willing to die for? And yet, Duty. It's a heavy burden, all right. Rafa looks like she's really struggling. Your benevolence. As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein. Wonder if I'm even up to the task. You just remembered you have to write a paper that's due today? Oh no. Today? School's over today. Tell them you missed the date and oh well, tough luck. Tell them tough luck, Mafia babe. It's no surprise considering the torrent of painful truth she had to face. Very well then. If the defense is prepared to face the death sentence under the Defense Culpability Act, then I see no reason to not continue with the proceedings. But I must admit, I see no grounds for doubting the accuser's guilt. Oh yeah, Mafia babe, do you like the Queen's new look, by the way? Doesn't she look awesome with that fan and her hair that's defying all physics. Did you see this last time? I forgot if you did. Unless the defense has further evidence that would indicate a different suspect. Sheesh, I know, right? This is the real toughest prosecutor, Mafia babe. The real toughie. Do we have anything like that? Well, lawyer, do you have any new evidence you would care to present? Or shall I have the executioner start his preparations? If she thinks I can't do this, she's got another thing coming. But first, I have some serious thinking to do. I'd say that new evidence indicating a different suspect does not exist. Such evidence does not exist. Just as I thought. I was so hoping you'd present meaningless evidence and allow me to claim your head. Glad I didn't walk headfirst into that one then. So, what now, Apollo? Well, unless we can prove that Nana killed Inga, this trial is over, and so are we. Isn't there still a way to get the proof we need, even without evidence? You know, a key means of obtaining testimony here in Karatin? Huh? Wait, are you actually suggesting... This certainly won't be easy, but it's worth a try. Your Majesty, a crucial step in uncovering the truth behind this case is yet to be taken in this trial, but I'm positive that I can back up our claim with this one step. You mean you will be able to prove that Nana killed Justice Minister Inga? I guess we're proving that Nana's the one. Rayfa's old handmaiden person. And just how do you propose to do that? With the help of a certain someone. You need help? From someone? Well, I can't imagine who it could be. But I suppose I must ask. Whose help do you need to uncover the truth? I need Trucy to pull a suspect out of her panties and guide us to victory. No. We need you.
Take that!
But that is... Me? Here in Karatin, legal proceedings include the viewing of the victim's final moments, but this requires your benevolence's help. Such information is just as vital as any other piece of conclusive evidence. If you're right about this, Rayfa's power should enable her to see the very moment Nana stabbed Inga. It will be hard to watch your father's murder, but it's the only way to uncover the truth. Your benevolence, we need you and your power. You need me?
Objection!
Wretched simpleton, did you not see what ensued in the previous attempt? You would only succeed in wasting more time, or is it your goal to make her collapse again?
Objection!
The princess said she was prepared earlier. Besides, it's her duty as royal priestess. I'd say it's all up to her now. Am I prepared? Prepared to fulfill my duty? Isn't a divination seance required at all trials anyway? If so, I imagine there'd be a problem with handing down a verdict without one. Indeed, it would be problematic. Under Koenig's law, a seance must be conducted before a verdict can be rendered.
Such insolence!
Yikes. Must you try my patience so? If I must dispense with that vexing law, then dispense with it I shall. Huh? As ruling sovereign of Karatin, I proclaim the following. Henceforth, the divination seance shall be optional. What? She has the power to do that? She just rewrote the law with a flourish of her hand. Yeah, that's fun, right? Isn't that a cool thing? But Mother, I do not wish for the trial to end like this. It is as the defense said, I must not neglect my duty simply because I am afraid. I shall go through with it this time. I will conduct the seance once more. Yes, a prosecutor who can change the laws. Yep. This one actually, did.
Such insolence!
Instead of the ones that kind of change the laws. Rayfa, do not be fooled by his lawyerly guile. You are not prepared to witness your father's death. But Hornhead needs my help. Rafa, did you not tell me earlier? Did you not tell me you were prepared? But despite your grandiose posturing, you collapsed in a most piteous fashion. Nah. Even worse, you have erred in your insights of late, for has not the Barb one there overturned them more than once? Oh, you cannot be trusted to keep your word, nor can you reveal the truth through your insights. So I say to you, begone. This sacred hall of justice has no need for such a worthless royal priestess. What? Worthless? Wow, how can she say that to her own daughter? So, Mother, you think me worthless?
Objection!
Oh my god, definitely not the Mother of the Year. Even the game mentioned had stars. It's good to see you. Welcome to the stream. How goes you today? Her benevolence says she can do it, doesn't she? So I don't see why you have to condemn her before she even made the attempt. I'm good, how am I? I'm doing good. I'm surviving. How are you? Very well, Horn Devil. If you really are so bent on having a seance, I shall give my consent. Really? However, should Rafa fail once more, you two and the accused shall all be executed on the spot. Come again? This is proving to be far more entertaining than I had anticipated. Well, lawyer, what say you? Will you wager your life and call on Rafa to perform a divination seance? On second thought, yes. You feel the same way? That's... As long as Mappy you're here and all that stuff, right? I'm glad you're surviving and we're all surviving, am I right? I don't think you're worthless, your benevolence. Far from it, in fact. Give me a second, lads. Okay. If you say you can't do it, then I believe in you. Hornhead? I do not understand. If I fail, you will be put to death. I know you collapsed during your previous attempt. Good night. I can't even imagine how terrible it must have been for you. But despite that, you are willing to try again. I have faith in that conviction, in that courage. My courage? Ah, so she was doomed to fail if she didn't have the courage to perform the seance. But it looks like she's got the determination to try again. Right, and that's a bet I'm willing to take. But it is as Mother said. I've erred in my insights as of late. Not only have I failed to reveal the truth, I've also contributed to false accusations. Knowing that, can you still say that you believe in me?
Objection!
No. I want to take stock in those words, your benevolence. Despite what your mother says, I don't think you've made any errors at all. Huh? In the trials I've been a part of here in Karatin, I would have never proven my client's innocence without your seances, because even though they didn't always reflect the absolute truth, the insight they provided served as vital leads to finding the truth. Vital leads? My seances? So please, your benevolence, try to perform the divination seance one more time.
Objection!
Rafa, stop this madness. It is for your own good. You are ill-prepared to face your father's death. Go, leave the sacred hall at once. No. What did you say? I said no, Mother, for I am the royal priestess of Karatin. I have no need for you now. Even if you do not need me, Mother, Thornhead and this Hall of Justice do. He proved that to me by risking his own life. It is because of him that I now understand. The divination seance is my sacred duty. I must fulfill it no matter the risk. Also, you are kind of a bleep. Hey, Ori. How you doing today? Welcome to the Apollo Justices. Your benevolence. Mother taught me that the divination seance was a mirror reflecting naught but the truth, but I began to have my doubts after Barb had disproved the insights it offered. And now I don't even know who or what to trust anymore. Father, Mother, even Nana, I had believed in them above all others, but I finally know now. I know in what I can trust. Blah, 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 blah. The royal priestess must debate each seance with the presiding lawyer and prosecutor. So that it can be interpreted properly. That is how I believe trials here in Karatin should function. Therefore, the Hall of Justice needs me. It is my power that leads trials toward the truth. That is my sacred duty, and I will never shirk it from it again. That's right here. That right there, your benevolence, is the product of what you've learned in your struggles so far. The truth that you realize with your own strength. Meh meh meh. Or, yeah, meh 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 meh. As my sacred duty, I must ensure that it is fulfilled. I must have the courage and resolve to see it through. Your Eminence, the Royal Priestess says she will conduct the divination seance. I see no grounds for you to forbid it. Unless, of course, you are worried that it might reveal something you might find inconvenient. Mother, I am done letting you have your way. Rafa, you would actually rebel against me, your mother and queen. Though I am scared to see my father's death, I must face my fear. That is what Hornhead has taught me here today. Rafa. Here we go.
I am the royal priestess, Rafa Padma Kurain. And I am prepared to face my father's death.
Yeah. Cool. Your Eminence, it seems the princess is more grown up than you thought. And more grown up than you. Rafa. Well then, let us proceed with the divination seance. The victim's final moments. This should be interesting. I wonder what Inga's memories are going to show us. It'll just show Dhurke being dead.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me.
So, vote in chat, guys. Should we skip the dance scene or watch it in full?
So that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Watch it in full? You got it. Yeah, skipping it is not an option. Sorry, I'm not skipping it. You want it skipped? Play the game and skip it yourself. I mean, it is fun to watch. Hey, sneakers, what's up? It is good timing. Enjoy. So, what do I have to do to be able to do this in real life, guys? Because I would super like to. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's showing it. Incense, grapes, sour. Footsteps. Man's voice. Pain. Footsteps. Explosion? Laughter. What? Oh dear. What in the... Oh, where was I? Hey Sneakers, how are you today? It's good to see ya. What in the... A faceless being? What the heck? His face, it's just like... the picture of the founder. Are we in trouble? I think that's the last thing anyone expected to see. Oh, Father, what was it? What was it you saw? Are we to understand that this was the last thing the victim saw? No, can you people in the back stop singing? It's over. Yes, there can be no mistake. That was what my father himself witnessed. How very strange. You don't suppose the Holy Mother possessed the accused and slew Minister Inga for planning a coup? The divine wrath of the Holy Mother? Oh, Holy Mother, we are ever grateful for your blessing! Talk about a sharp left turn into the Twilight Zone. You know, there's one thing in there that caught my attention. Like the everything. The man with no face. No face! It was No Face from Spirited Away. That laugh. Who does it belong to and why are they laughing? Who knows, though I suppose it could be Dhurke after he slew my husband. Uh-huh, but that figure didn't even have a mouth. Ho ho ho, I think we're done here, lawyer. How so? You claim that Minister Inga was stabbed in his private quarters, and feeling no pain, went to the tomb where he eventually fell dead. But yeah, guess what happened there? Not that. So, bloop you. But the seance vision proves he was stabbed in the tomb and felt great pain, no less. Oh, that. Therefore, as I asserted all along, it was the accused who stabbed the minister in the tomb. Ack, everything was just backfired. Big time. Wow, Gran has the devil's own luck, doesn't she? Now then, I shall give voice to the soul of the deceased. Listen well and heed these words. Inside. It was your cat. It was your cat. Man, why? Tell your cat to chill. You hate when you get stabbed in the tomb. Does it? It sounds like it happens often, huh, Sneakers? At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. He had been waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dhurke's voice. The next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. My father tried to shoot his attacker, but he missed, and the attacker let out a laugh. Like this. So what now, Mr. Wright? It's up to us to knock holes in Rayfa's interpretations of Inga's memories. In other words, we need to prove that her understanding of them could be mistaken. Okay, I'll give it a try. Okay. Alright, let's do a little save real quick. So, third statement. At the third frame, it said? Okay, I think I know what to do. Pause. If this is wrong, I'm gonna be upset. Hey, man's voice. You know what I mean?
Objection!
That's wrong. Bleep you. Your benevolence, it seems to be, or there seems to be an inconsistency in your interpretations. An inconsistency? Where? Minister Inga is far too relaxed for what was supposedly about to take place. When he heard the voice you claim is Dhurke's, he didn't seem the least bit alarmed. He just kept looking at the picture of the founder. Ah! That's strange, right? He was waiting for Dhurke to arrive with the founder's orb, but when he heard that voice, he didn't even turn to look. Don't you think he would have been worried about being attacked from behind? Ag! Then whose voice was it? It was likely someone whose presence wouldn't have alarmed him. Someone like a friend?
Objection!
But there was no third party at the scene of the crime. Therefore, the voice can only have belonged to Dhurke. The voice of a third party who wasn't there in the tomb. Apollo, don't we have something that could reveal the owner of the mystery voice? You know, I think we do. Something that Inga had while he was waiting for Dhurke. With it, we just might be able to figure out whose voice it was. I believe we can identify the male voice in Minister Inga's heard with this. The save the game. Tomb crime photo. That's my father's. I know this must be hard for you, but could you please look at this photo? There's something here that can point us toward the identity of the voice. This is the real source of the man's voice. Right there. See that thing there? A cell phone? Right. I believe that the voice the minister heard was of a call on this cell phone. I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. What is your eminence's view on the matter? I can see the possibility. Then it seems I must refine my vision. Subordinate's voice. Incense footsteps. It appears that the voice belonged to one of my father's subordinates. Okay. Why do you suppose he was talking to one of them, then? My father had members of the secret police positioned throughout the palace. They were supposed to contact him as soon as they saw Dhurke and the rest of you. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Your benevolence, I believe you have an insight to revise. I know, Barbed Head. Don't presume to tell me how to do my duty. Waiting vigilantly, my father took a call from a subordinate at the palace. So, the voice was coming from the phone. That's good to know. But there might have been other sounds coming from the phone. Sounds that could be clues. Let's take another look at Rafa's insights and really focus on the various sensations. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Oh yeah, this is Apollo's first time doing this. Alright, save the game again. Okay. So it's the third statement again. Sour. Footsteps. Subordinate's voice. Lion's roar. Hey, stars over Hyrule. Does your cat roar like a lion? Because it really could be your cat now. Sound. Hate to break it to you, Your Benevolence, but you misinterpreted something again. What do you mean? Again. Smooth move, Apollo. I think you just hurt her feelings. She may put on a brave face, but she feels more than she lets on. Let me rephrase that, Your Benevolence. Your interpretation of your father's phone call to a subordinate at the palace is inconsistent with his final memory. What do you mean by that? She means she mews loudly? Oh, it could be the cat then, like you said. Wow, what a twist that would be. A lion's roar could be heard over the phone. Don't you find that strange? You claim the call was with someone at the palace. I don't think there's been a single lion in this case. But let me ask you, do you keep lions here? No, the only animals at the palace are little birdies and my pet frog. Wait, that giant one in front of the minister's house is our pet? Besides, there aren't any lions in Karatin. We don't even have any zoos. A rather sad state of affairs, I'm afraid. Bang. Well, I remember hearing a sound like that. The lion's roar coming from the phone is actually from something hanging out in the bazaar. Isn't the cry of the warbird over in the bazaar? Ah! Your Benevolence, do you think you could clarify the voice for me? Very well. I will now attempt to further refine my vision. Warba's cry. Haha. What's this? Just as I suspected, it was the call of a warbud. That means the subordinate minister Inga was talking to was in the bazaar, not the palace. But why is it important where the call came from? What significance could it have? She's right. Is it important to know where the call was made from? Yeah, I'd say so. It's actually very important. Knowing that the person on the other end was at the bazaar means... Bang. That the loud explosion might not have been the sound of a gunshot. But, I can think of no other item that makes such a noise in the area. Go ahead, Apollo. Tell her. Tell Rafa the real source of that sound. Will do. Well, Hornhead, I'm waiting. What was the true source of that explosive sound? It's... Albie.
Take that!
What is that? It's Albie Your Guide's statement. In it, he claims that Dats a rebel threw a firecracker at him while he was at the bazaar. It's Angel Love? Oh, snap. I should have known. Then... Yes, the sound heard over the phone was a firecracker exploding. Ah!
Objection!
And yet, a bullet was found at the scene of the crime. A bullet fired from Minister Inga's gun. How do you explain that? Well, we don't know whether it was fired during the course of the crime, right? Or do you have evidence that proves when the pistol was discharged? No, I have none. Wait a second. If the loud bang was a firecracker, then could that laugh on the other end have been... No, it can't be. Oh, it can, and it is. The laughter came from none other than... the Joker who got a kick out of startling Albie with his dragon snot snaps. The happy-go-lucky Dhurke rebel. What? Someone should really put a leash on that guy. I shudder to think how one man can be the cause of so much trouble. Har 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 har. Hey there, AJPW. Y'all can thank me later. No one asked for your commentary, Mr. R. Rebel. Your Benevolence, do you need to revise your insight? It would appear so. God damn it. Okay. Final laugh was Dats. Well, this changes everything. Let's go over the details of Rafa's insight again. Okay. I think I've got this down now. Time to find another inconsistency. As usual, let's save the game. So let's see. So select the first insight. Oh. First statement at the 5th frame. Whoops. At the 5th frame. Let me pause real quick. Okay. Explosion. Oh, shoot. Wait, this is a weird, like, guide thing. Rewind. I'm gonna save it one more time. This is kind of like a poorly explained thing here. After it goes blank. So, play. Explosion. Then select the nothing? It says after it goes blank.
Objection!
Okay, good guide. Good guide. Yes. Little more details. I like to revise this guide, please. Explosion after it goes blank. Well, that's nothing then. That's not even. Why would you even put after it goes blank? Stupid guide writer. Okay, explosion.
Objection!
Objection. Why would this person put after it goes blank? What does that even mean? Oh god. If you're writing a guide, guys, just don't be like this person. Your benevolence, there's a glaring problem with this insight. No. The sight goes blank. I don't even know what that means either, sorry. Big dummy Ultima. There is? You stated that the murder happened at around 3 p.m., which is right around the time my client arrived on the scene. However, now that we know what the source of the loud bang is, your insight conflicts with a certain piece of evidence. I suppose I'll have to ask the obvious here. What evidence conflicts with the claim that the murder occurred at 3 p.m.? It's Albie's statement again. Inga was looking at the figure, then it went blank. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know anymore. It's over. Moving on now. Excuse me. Albie, your guide's statement again? Yes, because to summarize what he said, at around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker and ran into the palace courtyard. Around 2 p.m.? That's right. 2 p.m., not 3 p.m. Ah! Are you suggesting? I think you know where I'm going with this. Datz's laugh, the cry of the warbird, and the bang of the firecracker were all heard right before Minister Inga's death. Thanks to Albie's statement, we can put a definitive timestamp on all of these sounds. Therefore, what this vision shows is that it's extremely likely that the deceased's final moments were at 2 rather than 3, as we had originally thought. Dare I ask? It means the murder took place a full hour before Dhurke entered the tomb. Polkunka! Arg! How can this be? Are you saying that I, the very personification of the law, have been mistaken? Oh. There goes her claws. Now you see why justice will always prevail. Peace, peace, I say. Now then, defense. I must remind you that the figure of the accused was clearly shown in the vision. How do you explain that? I wouldn't say it was clearly shown. After all, the figure didn't actually have a face. Ah, you are absolutely right. Without a face, we can't be certain of who it was. Furthermore, need I remind you that if the vision is from 2 p.m., Dhurke was still with me and Mr. Wright, which means this faceless figure couldn't possibly be him. Maybe it was the Phantom again, guys, from the 5th game. He's back! So then, what are we to make of this 1 hour difference? Wait, 2 o'clock? That's when... my mother was performing the rite of channeling. The palace guards had already been reassigned to guard the channeling chamber for the rite. Don't tell me. The royal residence? It would have been virtually unguarded, which means the real killer could have easily slipped unseen into Amara's tomb. Defense, are you saying that this someone disguised as the accused? That's exactly what I believe, Your Majesty. Preposterous. Disguises cannot deceive the memories of the dead. That's the face. That the face did not appear this time is mere happenstance. Had it appeared, such subterfuge would have been clear as day. He's got a point there. Anyone who knows about the divination seance would have tried to hide their face. Nevertheless, our killer openly appeared before Inga. The question is why? Apollo. Maybe the killer could afford to be so bold, because they knew their face wouldn't show up in the seance vision. What? It's possible that the killer dared to dress in Dhurke's clothes and stand square in front of Inga, precisely because they knew they could get away with it. But how could anyone be so sure of something like that? A long time ago I heard of a cognitive disorder that impairs a person's ability to distinguish people between different faces. What if Inga had it? Then, are you saying that this is literally how Inga saw the world? Yes, we can't normally see through the eyes of others, but in this case we can. And if he had that disorder, I imagine this is how the faces appeared to him in life. Is that a real thing? Okay, let's say that the killer knew that Inga had such a disorder. They could definitely use it to pin the crime on Dhurke. But if you're wondering about how to prove that Inga had it, you already have what you need. Really? Well, defense, do you have anything to show to this court? Yeah, your teacher has it. Oh, interesting. Kinda, yeah. That is interesting. Do you have anything to show to the court? Yes, I believe so. Frankly, I have no idea what Mr. Wright means, but I'll look the evidence over again. No need, I have a guide. What explains why the face of Minister Inga's killer is absent in the seance vision? Well, all you need to do is look at the notepad.
Take that!
A notepad? Yes, it was found in Minister Inga's room, and it holds the answer we're looking for. Oh yeah, the notes. These do make sense now. As you can see, it's filled with detailed notes on various individuals, what kind of clothes they wear, hairstyles, and other discerning physical characteristics. And this is connected to the faceless nature of the killer how? The vision we saw was exactly what Minister Inga saw with his own eyes. It is he who saw his killer as a person without a face. In fact, this is how he normally saw everyone around him. What's this? I believe Minister Inga has a disorder that prevented him from recognizing faces. It would explain the faceless being, and why he needed a notepad full of people's physical characteristics. Now that I think about it, my father was always terrible at remembering people. By simply changing my hairstyle, he would fail to recognize even me. Your Eminence? Hang on a minute. Okay. You knew that your husband had such a disorder, didn't you? How'd she get her nails back? He never wished for it to become public knowledge, but I suppose there is no use in keeping it quiet about it now. It is as you say. My late husband has a special disorder that hindered his ability to recognize faces. The medical term for it is prosopagnosia. So Mr. Wright was right. The memories of those afflicted with such a disorders in life do appear strange at times. There is precedent for this. So the killer likely knew about the disorder and used it to their advantage. Right, so there's someone who is both knowledgeable about the divination seance and aware of Inga's affliction. Your Eminence, who knew about your husband's condition? A small number of servants who tended to his needs, and me. Surely you are not about to insinuate that I committed this crime? Oh, no, Your Eminence. Still, could she have done it? Garan has an alibi, remember? Oh, right. She was conducting the rite of channeling at 2. So much for that. In that case, Your Eminence, does Nana know about Minister Inga's disorder? Of course she does. She is our head servant. So as head servant, she knew about Minister Inga's condition, and as the princess's personal attendant, she is familiar with the divination seance. If these two facts together don't make her a possible suspect, I don't know what would.
Objection!
You witless lawyer, how quick you are to forget the facts. Facts like, when Inga was last seen alive, you claim he was slain at 2, yet that is impossible, for Rafa saw him at 2:30. We did completely forget about that. No, there must be some mistake. So you see, the murder could only have happened at 3 p.m. The hour Dhurke entered the tomb, there is no other answer to this puzzle. Arg, why don't we ever get to make up answers like Garan makes up laws? Guess it's back to square one. Where did we go wrong? I don't think we're the problem. We just seem to be short one piece of the puzzle. Our deductions so far explain everything to a T. Everything except for Inga's sighting at 2:30. I see, and without that final puzzle piece, all of our deductions fall apart. Apollo, if Inga's sighting is the only anomaly, we'll just have to find a way to make it fit into the bigger picture. Time to think outside the box then, right? Let's see. It would be impossible to see Inga walking around after he'd been killed. But what if there was a way to make people think he was alive even though he was dead? Like a way to make people witness the living dead? Sounds like some kind of TV show. Things like that don't happen in real life. Apollo, did you just... I did. I figured it out. I know how to make people witness the living dead. Gasp, it was the person who was there when Inga died? Dun 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 dun. Only problem is Maya was there when Inga died. That would be a problem. Your Majesty, our deductions weren't wrong at all. Despite Minister Inga being murdered at 2 p.m., he was seen heading into the tomb at 2:30, and I'll tell you how. I certainly hope you will, because I have no idea what you're talking about. The Minister Inga her benevolence saw was, in fact, someone channeling him. It was the deceased being channeled. It's the only way a man who's already dead could have been seen by her benevolence. Channeled, you say? That's right, and there are only 2 people capable of channeling spirits here in Karatin, Her Eminence Queen Garan and Maya Fey. It's possible that one of them was channeling the minister. It would seem that you are ever bent on making me party to this crime. Prosecutor, what was I doing at 2:30 p.m., the time at which my husband was seen? Eminence? Hang on a minute. Okay. Eminence, I believe you had completed the channeling rite and were having tea with the king of the neighboring realm. There would have been many attendants there, too. Yuta has to keep up with her schedule, too? What doesn't she make him do? Then that leaves only Maya. Yeah, it does. Maybe someone was forcing her to use her power toward nefarious ends. The real killer could have been threatening her. Oh dear. That cannot be. So then Inga's scream, that was probably from when he woke up from being called back to this world. After all, that's when the flow of time would have picked back up for him after he died. So Minister Inga probably leapt to his feet thinking he just had a nightmare. Then, realizing it was almost time for the hostage exchange, he raced off to Amara's tomb, not even realizing he was already dead. Then, Her benevolence really did see a dead man running? Ah! That's the first 2 instances of Maya being accused of murder. Well, she's not being accused of murder yet. She's being accused of channeling the dead person. Dhurke is still in the hot seat here. Using a sacred power of spirit channeling to commit a crime? How can this be? The defense calls Miss Maya Fey to the stand. Well, Your Eminence, will you allow a new witness? It matters not. Either way, this lawyer shall soon know the truth. He will know just how much of an imbecile he is in the face of my infallible arguments. Insult me all you want, witch, but you'll be eating those words when I expose the truth. Very well, let us adjourn until the next witness is ready. Well, guys, time for a little Disney movie update. Last night's Disney movie was a movie I never saw before. It was really interesting, actually. It was very, very D&D like, with magic and monsters and sorcerers, but like with modern conveniences of today's world. And a 16-year-old boy who wanted to bring his father back to life, but only his pants appeared, which was weird. His legs. And thank you Foursquare for the thingy. And welcome to the stream. Welcome to Sword. Wonder? No, not Wonder. It was called Onward. Onward, I think it's called Onward. It was very interesting. I like the older brother person. He was very, very nerdy. Who is my kind of people's. You know that movie? Yep, I saw that for the first time that night. 6-month streak. Wow, Foursquare! You are crazy! That is insane. Thank you so much for subscribing again. Tom Holland was the one, son? That's crazy, Tom Holland was. Spider-Man. You're on a roll. You are. But yeah, that was the movie. It was pretty good. Next chapter, let's go. Tom's and everything. He's Spider-Man. He's only Spider-Man. Yeah. Talk about some really close shaves. Well, you can't get a closer shave than Headsmaid's brand blades, that's for sure. The trial's not even over yet, and I'm already exhausted. It's a good movie. You enjoyed it? That's good. Good. Still, you were able to fight back the queen and herself in there. Well, maybe with Miss Faye's help, I won't have to keep on playing our game much longer. Speaking of which, I guess it's a little late to be asking, but do you think she's well enough to testify, Mr. Wright? She slept all day yesterday out of exhaustion, apparently, but that's all it was, so she should be okay. Barbed head, horn head, forehead. Oh, hello, Your Benevolence. Princess Rayfa, you were really impressive in there.
I am the royal priestess Rayfa Padma Kurain. And I am prepared to face my father's death.
I have an idea, guys. A remake of every single Ace Attorney game, but all voice acted. Eh? That would be a heavy undertaking, though. A very, very heavy undertaking if every line of dialogue ever was voiced. Despite your mother's opposition, you stood your ground, and in doing so, you fulfilled your duty as the royal priestess. Shut up! It was all thanks to you and your friends. Your belief in me gave me the courage to follow my path. So, you have my gratitude. Oh, don't mention it. I know, I shall thank you with a gift. What would you like? A cow? A horse? Perhaps I shall reward your efforts with a royal shoulder massage. Oh, that's okay, Your Benevolence. Your gratitude is more than enough, thanks. But I thought you Americans liked massages. That's Americanist? My techniques was highly praised by my father, I'll have you know. You mean the anime series, then? Maybe. Oh, Foursquare, there's your sword, by the way. Sadly, it's a gun and not a sword. Hey, you lawyers, where's the accused? Huh? Dhurke? That's a good question. American. Fanatic. Fantastic news. Fantastic! I blew it big time, AJ. That's... Shut up, you. What's going on? This scoundrel tried to escape with the accused. What? We were able to nab him, but the accused is nowhere to be found. Where are you hiding him, you miscreant? I keep telling you, I had got no idea where he went. I mean, yeah, we booked it together, but I lost track of him after that. So Dhurke's on the 1 a.m. now? Or on the lam now? Probably, but who knows? He vanished in the blink of an eye. But vanished? Want to know something, AJ? Dhurke said to me, I can't put Amara in danger. I have to set her free before it's too late. What? Don't tell me he's gonna rescue her. But that's what I am telling you. It's why I helped him escape in the first place. Dad, do you really realize what you've done? Well, what's done is done. So, why do you choose to go rescue her now? Maybe he didn't want to die with any regrets or something. You know, just in case he ended up on the chopping block. Why, Dhurke? I thought you believed in me. Aw, don't be like that, AJ. He'll be back as soon as he frees Amara. You'll see. That's not the point, Dad. Listen, lawyer, you let us know immediately if the accused contacts you. Trial will now resume. See that you are ready. Wait, the trial's still on? Even without the defendant? Those were Her Eminence's orders, so you will return to the courtroom at once. Arr. Let's go, Apollo. All we can do is see where the next testimony leads. The anime covers all 3 Phoenix Wright games and was pretty good too. It was good. I wholly enjoyed it. Now then, let us resume the trial at hand. Your Majesty, my client seems to have gone missing. What do you think, Your Eminence? Should we proceed without the accused? Why not? My royal guard is searching for him as we speak. They shall find him soon enough, for they would not dare to keep me waiting. Yes, but what about the law governing court proceedings? Then I shall simply revise it. Oh, here we go again. As ruling sovereign of Karatin, I proclaim the following. Should the accused be an enemy of the crown, they may be tried in absentia. Well, in that case, I guess there's no problem with the proceeding. Welp! Will the witness, Miss Maya Fey, please approach the stand? I killed him. Sorry to summon you like this, Maya. Getting dragged out of bed and into court is not exactly fun. A fun wake-up call, Nick. I'm sorry, Miss Fey. It was my idea. And you are... Oh, right. I'm Apollo Justice. It's nice to finally meet you. Oh, so you're Apollo. Nick's told me all about you. You're the new guy with the loud voice and a bit of an unreliable streak, right? Unreliable? Well, that was 2 years ago. You've come a long way since. So, why was I called here anyway? Am I under arrest again? Huh? I guess no one's filled her in. Well, she has been asleep this entire time. Miss Fey, this is a trial for Dhurke Sadmati, and you're here as a witness. What? Dhurke's been arrested? But... That's not exactly the reaction I was expecting. Miss Fey, you are suspected of playing a part in the murder of Justice Minister Inga. Oh, she's only suspected on being a part of the murder, not as the actual murderer. See, that's not so bad, right, guys? It's not bad. What? Someone allegedly forced you to channel the minister to obfuscate the time of his murder. Accessory to murder? Yeah, it's not the worst thing ever. At least that's what the defense claims. Wait, what? How could you, Apollo? How could you even reach that conclusion? Sorry, but it's the only way this whole case makes any sense. Your understandable anger at the defense's side while you testify, Miss Fey? Yes, your majesty. Channeling the minister. I don't have any idea what's going on, but I know I didn't channel Minister Inga. I didn't even have the chance to do something like that. Besides, I never go quietly along with some criminal's plan. Though, I guess there are some things I'd go quietly along with. Yeah, that's something to say, Maya. It seems the witness doesn't believe she has ever channeled Justice Minister Inga. And if her words prove to be true, Defense, your entire argument becomes moot. You do understand that, don't you? Yes, of course. It doesn't seem like Miss Fey is lying. Apollo. Maya was being awfully secretive about something just now, and I guess I'd better dig a bit and try to get her to open up to me first. I don't have any idea what's going on, but... You've been asleep ever since you were rescued from the tomb, correct? I was exhausted after being held captive for so long. That must have been terrible. Maya, Minister Inga didn't do anything to you, did he? Oh no, it wasn't like that. On the contrary, I asked him for all sorts of things. Like what? Like, I'm really craving burgers, and I'll die if I miss an episode of The Plum Punisher. Acting like a brat netted me a TV and even a few burgers from someplace. He was surprisingly nice to me. Huh? Are you sure we're talking about the same guy here? He may have loomed large, but he was unexpectedly easy to push around. Even though he's the one who was responsible for pushing those execution papers, though? Oh, that? Approving executions was simply his preferred method of stress relief. With a wife like her, he was probably really pushing them through out of fear. I'm beginning to see why he wanted to stage a coup. In any case, my time in captivity wasn't so bad, but of all the things that happened... You love her. Maya's always great. I know I didn't channel Minister Inga.
Hold it!
Are you sure about that? Maybe you just don't remember channeling him. Don't remember? I may be 28, but I'm not senile, you know. Something's not right here. Miss Fey, you were confined to Amara's tomb the whole time, is that correct? Yes, but I wasn't conscious the whole time. Okay, then let me ask you something. Did you ever see Nana in the tomb, dressed as Dhurke? Huh? Is this some kind of a joke? I think I'd remember if I saw something as crazy as that. Plus, I doubt anyone would carry out a crime like that in front of a potential witness. I hate when she's right. I didn't even have a chance to do something like that.
Hold it!
You didn't have a chance to channel him. Does the channeling someone take a long time? Not really. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty much instantaneous. But I was all tied up, literally. There was no way for me to make a channeling munja with my hands to do it. Right. I guess she really didn't channel Inga then. Maya, when mediums are done with a session, they can send the spirit back to the other world themselves, right? Sure, unless they're still in training. Amateurs can get possessed by spirits sometimes, but full-fledged mediums can stay in total control of a session, and they can send the deceased's spirit away anytime they want. So I take it you can do that too, Miss Fey? Of course. It's a cinch for the new and improved mystic Maya Fey, a spirit medium. That's strange. You seem like the same old childish Maya to me. Grrr, I'll show you childish Nick. Besides, I'd never go quietly along with some criminal's plan.
Hold it!
So you wouldn't channel spirits for unseemly purposes? Of course not. Spirit channeling is my bread and butter, and I take a lot of pride in my work. It's like, would you use your legal skills to commit a crime, Apollo? Well, until finger-pointing and objecting becomes deadly, I don't see how they can be used. Wow, you're a regular Mr. Smarty-Pants, just like Nick. Always at the ready with some sarcastic comeback. I think I'll save my many objections for after the trial. Yes, please. Anyway, I never go along with something like murder. Though, I guess there are some things I'd go quietly along with.
Hold it!
It sounds to me like you're trying to hide something, Miss Faye. Didn't anyone teach you about respecting boundaries, Apollo? It's really rude to pry into a person's private affairs. Sorry, I didn't realize, Wait, we're in a court of law. Yeah, I know. Then what was all that about me being rude? I'm just doing my job. So please, just tell me, what exactly are you hiding? Sorry, but I promised Dhurke I wouldn't say. You made a promise to Dhurke? Mm-hmm, a pretty big one. I think this is about all you're going to get out of her. Yeah. Enough! The witness is denying that she channeled any spirit. Further questioning is pointless. It appears your little fiction has been soundly exposed for what it is. You should listen to her, Apollo. I don't even know why you suspected me in the first place. I mean, you don't have any evidence of me channeling Minister Inga, do you? Oh, evidence, huh? There's no point in even thinking about it, really. I don't use anything special to channel spirits, so there wouldn't be anything left behind. That's true. Just like when she channeled the High Priest, all Maya needs is her own body. If the defense has no objections to offer, I will have to end this cross-examination. What now? Even if she doesn't use any special items to do the channeling itself, you'd think there would be something to complete the deception. Is there some proof that Justice Minister Inga was channeled? You bet there is. You bet there is. Really? Well now. You're bluffing, I take it. I'll be fine. If we're right, then there must be some sort of proof to back it up. Time to do some serious thinking, Apollo. Justice. Okay, we know that when Rafa saw her father, he wasn't dressed like Miss Faye, right? Right, because if she was, Rafa would immediately notice he was being channeled. So that means he was dressed in his usual self when Rafa saw him. Aha! Good thinking, Apollo. This might be the perfect angle to attack from. Alright, let's have an answer from the defense. What proof do you have that Miss Maya Faye channeled Justice Minister Inga? Right here.
Take that!
Is that a gemstone? We found this among the ashes of one of the tomb's incense burners. Does this gemstone ring any bells, Your Eminence? What? What was that doing in the tomb? Ah, so you do recognize it. But then, as his wife, how could you not recognize this gemstone button from your husband's jacket? I don't get where you're going with this. Channeling Minister Inga alone wouldn't be enough to fool someone like Princess Rafa, especially if he were wearing your clothes. So you would have had to change into the minister's clothes before channeling him. Ah! Miss Faye, you used the minister's clothes as cover while going from his room to the tomb, where you would burn them once you no longer needed them. What? Uh-oh. She seems genuinely surprised by that, Apollo.
Objection!
Miss Faye? Yes? Do you know my husband's name? Guys, you need to listen to this. I hope all of you are listening. We have arrived. It was, Inga Karkul Karatin, right? That is correct, in part, but there's more. Much more. Inga Karkul... Now hang on. Let me read this to you properly. Are you ready? Inga Karkul, how could this name be any longer or more pompous than it already is? There we go, guys. That is the maximum name pun to ever exist. Thank you very much for coming. Have a good night. Karkin III. That is his true name. Could it be any longer? Due to its length, only a portion of it was ever made public. Epic level name pun. I told you. I told you that was the best one. I told you all. Due to its length... Oh, so Miss Faye, did you know his true name? No, I mean, how could I... Precisely. Yet a medium must know both of the face and true name of the one she seeks to channel. Ah, ag! So then, Miss Faye couldn't have channeled Minister Inga? That's why I've been saying this whole time. Why would I want to randomly channel some old guy I didn't know? And didn't like, thanks to that last trial. I can't believe this. Apollo, I really don't think Maya's lying. However, your line of reasoning still seems credible to me. I agree, but there's something tripping us up in the details. Maybe we're working off of some wrong assumption again. Apollo? I was thinking. Yes? Since I didn't channel Minister Inga, is it possible that someone else did? Someone else? But who else could it have been? I haven't thought that far yet. Such chatter is without merit. Let us move on, shall we? I don't care what Garan says, but I'm going to figure this out. If it wasn't Miss Faye and the Queen has an alibi, then... Apollo, forget about who is capable of channeling spirits for a second. I should consider the circumstances around the channeling, right? Right. We know Rafa saw her father come running out of his private quarters. If he was being channeled at the time, who could it have been? It had to have been someone who was in Inga's private quarters. Well, I'm waiting defense, and you know how much I despise waiting. Yes, but there is someone else besides Miss Faye who could have channeled Minister Inga. There is just one more person, and they were in Inga's private quarters. That person is our only hope now. Only hope. So the defense believes there was another. Let's have your very serious answer then. With pleasure. Orn Devil, who could have channeled Minister Inga? It is none other than... Mr. Hat, as stars over Hyrule would say. How about... Nena.
Take that!
Nena? Your Eminence said it yourself. Mr. Hat. Yep, Mr. Hat. That's right. Nena never did go into the tomb that day. Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters. How do you know? It's quite simple. Shoe prints were discovered in Inga's private quarters, shoe prints that belonged to Nena. And then there's her benevolence's statement. She said that Nena disappeared right after she entered Minister Inga's private quarters, the room from which Minister Inga himself came running out of not long afterwards. You are not seriously suggesting... It's the only thing that makes sense. Nena channeled Minister Inga and left his private quarters thereafter. That's why no one has seen her since. And why only the minister's shoe prints were found outside his residence. Huh? No way! That's gotta be it. Nena must have somehow channeled the minister. But how? All of the circumstantial evidence has fallen into place. You can't ignore it anymore. You can't claim Nena isn't connected to this case somehow. In light of this, the defense calls Nena to the stand. Well, Your Eminence? Very well then, let us call Nena to testify. Yes, now we can finally crack this case wide open. Let's adjourn while the witness is summoned. There is no need. Nena is in the waiting lobby. What? Nena's here? I thought she'd gone missing. It seems she was feeling unwell and simply wished to rest undisturbed, but her concern for Rafa brought her here today. She took time off without Rafa's knowledge or consent? I'm betting there's more to her disappearing act than meets the eye, Apollo. So is it Nena, guys? Is Nena the murderer? Can it actually be this old lady? Miss Nena, do you understand why you have been summoned here today? Yes, of course. Her Eminence has informed me that this man here suspects I have committed a crime. You will still say it's the Queen? Or at least covered it up? We'll see. We'll see who it is. So this is Nena. That's quite the hairdo. Though I will say, I suppose I'm not as old as I had thought. If this horn-headed nincompoop would take me for a criminal. Nincompoop? Isn't that Rafa's favorite insult? I guess Nana rubbed off on her with all the time they spent together. You there, young hornhead. Yes? Ew. You're accusing me of slaying Minister Inga and channeling his spirit, yes? You bet it's the old lady? You bet it's old lady. We'll see. What an active imagination you have. Young folk are so wonderfully open-minded. Thanks. Just take the compliment, Justice. Now then, will the witness please proceed with her testimony? This court wishes to know if you did or did not channel Minister Inga in his private quarters. Well, here we go. I'm no spirit medium, Sonny. I was feeling under the weather yesterday and decided to rest these weary bones. Besides which, a lowly servant such as I could not possibly be an honorable spirit medium. Only members of the royal family can learn the art of spirit channeling here in Karatin. After Queen Amara's passing, Her Eminence, Queen Garan, is the only spirit medium left. If you believe a medium to be the culprit, it would have to be that young lass Maya Fey. And there you have it. It seems we have summoned her for nothing. Only those of the royal bloodline have the power to spirit channeling. That a servant such as Nana could channel spirits is a most unamusing jest, on the surface anyway. But our line of reasoning has led us to this end, that Nana channeled Inga's spirit. All right, the defense may now question the witness. Yeah. No. 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 Well, yeah, no. Yes. It's just like Skyrim, save often. This.
Objection!
Okay, so I presented what makes sense in terms of a direct contradiction, except I don't know how to make it make sense in the larger context of this case. Well, is the defense going to follow up its loud objection with a sound explanation? Oh, sorry. How do I put this? I believe there's a problem with Nana's testimony. Go on. She asserted that she could not possibly be a spirit medium because, in Karatin, only members of the royal family can learn how to channel spirits. I fail to see the problem in that statement, defense. Hold on, I'm getting to it, Your Majesty. Nana stated an absolute falsehood. Since we know that Amara is still alive, at the same time, circumstantial evidence points to Nana channeling Inga. After all, just after she entered his private quarters, Inga came rushing out screaming despite having been killed at 2 p.m. That would mean that Nana channeled Inga, even though supposedly only those of the royal family are capable of doing so. Wait. Is it too late to ask for a refund on my trip down the rabbit hole? Mr. Wright, you may think I've lost my mind with this bluff, but if I can at least establish the possibility, I think it'll give us the break we need. Wait a sec. Are you going to propose what I think you are? Yes, it's a huge risk, but I think there's a chance I can prove it. But will the court please take a look at this photo? This photo's very existence, to say nothing of the person in it, contradicts the witness's claim. The Queen Garan is the only remaining spirit medium in Karatin. Horned devil, you mustn't! Oh, but I must. Under these circumstances, the outcome of this trial depends on it. But you already knew that, didn't you, Your Eminence? Will the defense please explain who is shown in the photograph? The person in the photo is the previous queen, Amara Signator Karatin. The contrary to the popular belief, she was never assassinated. In fact, she's very much alive. What? But that's nonsense. Take a good look at the law book in this photo, Your Majesty. The mark of the dragon branded on it could only have been placed there after Queen Amara's supposed assassination. Old lady's previous queen? Is that what you think? We'll see. Urgh! Queen Amara still alive? Has the lawyer gone mad? While I personally find it hard to believe, I will allow the defense to continue. You may proceed, defense. Queen Amara's death was staged to keep her safe from her would-be killer. Yet according to Dhurke, she is actually being held captive somewhere. But the real truth is that Queen Amara is not being held in confinement. Rather, she walks freely among us. Among us? Here, in this very courtroom today. But how? Do not be deceived, Your Majesty. The Red Pepper is skilled in weaving plausible lies. It is the cunning lawyerly art known as bluffing. But in knowing this, there is no need to fear his forked tongue.
Objection!
That's where you're wrong, prosecutor. 'Cause you'll be quaking in your boots soon enough. Is that so? It's my turn, Nayuta, to wake you up to the truth right before your eyes. Queen Amara is still very much alive and has been disguising herself as Mr. Hat, as Stars Over Hyrule would say. He started speaking Pokemon Unknown? Maybe. Possibly. He is, or she is... I'll be... Nana.
Take that!
Kirk. Eek! This is the simplest and cleanest explanation. Yep, Mr. Hat. Cleanest and simplest explanation. Wait, simple and clean? Kingdom Hearts reference? The person who killed Minister Inga? Someone with intimate knowledge of the divination seance? A medium who channeled the minister in order to mask the real time of his death? Condense these traits into one person and you get a spirit medium of royal blood. And that person is none other than you, Nana. Your true identity is the former Queen Amara, the killer we've been looking for all along. What?
Objection!
The song that got the West hooked on J-pop. Yep, they know it here too. Have you finally lost your mind, Mr. Justice? What you say is beyond blasphemous, even in the depths of hell. Oh my, such frightening allegations. Indeed, and absolutely ludicrous to boot. Her Eminence Queen Amara yet lives, and is actually Miss Nana here? You have truly gone off the deep end. You don't have to take my word for it. In fact, a certain someone can help me prove it. Your Eminence? If Queen Amara truly is dead, you should be able to channel her spirit right here, right now. Isn't that correct? Dhurke. I can deny it no longer. The lawyer speaks the truth. Nana, the woman who stands here before us, is Amara, the former queen believed to have perished 23 years ago. Pokunka! We finally got Inga's real killer on the stand. Nena, no. Amara Sigator Karatin. Please drop the act and tell us what really happened. Are you guys ready for one of the best transformations, by the way? Oh, dearie me. I guess I shouldn't have underestimated the power of youth. Well done, young hornhead. Oh, boy. Whoa. Holy crap. Wow! I was getting tired of masquerading as an old woman anyway. It has been far too long since I last greeted you, good people of Karatin. It is I, Amara Sigator Karatin, your former queen. Queen Amara? What? Ah! Nah! With age, elegance, quite the beauty. I know, she turned into quite the beauty, huh? And I thought Garen's makeover was extreme. Can it really be true? You are alive and well? It is true. I feel as if I have been called back from the Twilight Realm. I fear I have caused all of you a great deal of distress. Oh. Amara, I'm sorry I was unable to keep your secret any longer. I hope you can forgive me. It is quite all right, Garen. I am safe now. For Dhurke, that blackguard who threatened my life will be recaptured soon enough. I need not conceal my identity any longer. Queen Amara? What does this all mean? Were you not killed in the fire 23 years ago? I barely escaped that place with my life. But though I survived, I knew that scoundrel would make further attempts on my life. Therefore, I staged my death and abdicated the throne to my dear younger sister, Garen. But the building of that great tomb, and disguising yourself as a lowly servant, why would you do such a thing? Garen, I would have you explain. I wished for her to be close at hand. It was the only way I felt I could protect her, and it was the best way to hide her from the eyes of the public. After all, who could conceive of Amara lowering her station to that of a servant? She's got that right. Even Dhurke thought Amara was being held captive in some far-off place. He never even guessed she was living as a servant, right in plain sight. I must say, a life dedicated to the servitude of others is not the least bit disagreeable. It is a quiet, humble existence, far removed from the tedium of regal duties. Ah, but those days of peace have ended. And it's all because of you, Hornhead. You should consider yourself lucky if that's all this ends with. If there is something you wish to say, then say it. It doesn't matter who you are. You won't escape the crime you committed. The defense moves to indict you as Justice Minister Inga's real killer. Well. What's this? You would accuse Queen Amara of homicide? A Grand Priestess of Karanism? You can't do that. She's virtually a goddess in the eyes of her people. If you commit the crimes, you'd better be ready to do the time. Be you a priest, saint, queen, or god. I've never met such an egalitarian person. Queen Amara, in your years disguised as Nena, you would have learned about Minister Inga's disorder, so you knew you could dress in Dhurke's clothes to forge a convincing seance vision. Isn't that right? Oh, what a curious character you are. You would label me a murderer? Me, the one who the people regarded as the reincarnation of the Holy Mother herself? Holy moly, there's tornadoes in Iowa. Sheesh. Be careful, people in Iowa. Please be careful. You may be a grand figure in Karanism, but as a foreigner, you're just another suspect to me. It would appear your words are not in jest. Am I to suffer the sullying of my good name with accusations of murder most foul? But please, Queen Amara, forgive his impudence. The lawyer knows not what he speaks. Fear not, good Majesty, for this is the sacred hall of justice. Though I am a grand priestess on this stand, I am but a witness like any other. I shall face his accusations with grace and benevolence. Your compassion overfloweth your mercifulness. Oh, young lawyer, in my benevolence I must warn you that your assertion suffers from a tragic flaw. Huh? There's a flaw? Nayuta. Yes, your mercifulness? Who was present in the tomb when the murder was discovered? Dhurke Sadmati, Maya Fey, and the victim Minister Inga. I see. That is a fatal flaw indeed. It appears Queen Amara cannot possibly have gone to the tomb as Minister Inga. What? Why not? Do not keep the defense waiting, Nayuta. Explain how wrong he truly is. Yes, your mercifulness. Her benevolence, Princess Rayfa saw Minister Inga enter the tomb at around 2:30 p.m. Yet you, the defense, claim the person she saw was the minister being channeled by Queen Amara. However, if her mercifulness had channeled him, and moved to the tomb, then, once she was done channeling, Queen Amara would have re-emerged and been left stuck in the tomb. Oh yeah, had she tried to exit before you all arrived? Princess Rayfa, who had been looking down upon the courtyard, would have seen her. However, her benevolence saw nothing of the sort. In conclusion, Queen Amara could not have left the tomb without being observed, and yet, was she there in the tomb when the murder was discovered, defense? No, she wasn't. Now do you see? Your flimsy claim has been uprooted like a sapling in a flood. Nah. Ah! Well, that was entertaining, Prosecutor Sadmati. Assume the prosecution of this case and clear your mother's good name. You wish for me to take over? Yes, prosecute your father and save your mother. What a poignant fate you bear, but bear it you must. Are you ready? Yes, Your Eminence. And there you have it, Your Majesty. I shall watch the rest of the proceedings from the sidelines. I relinquish complete control of this sacred hall to your authority once more. Why, thank you, Your Eminence. Now then, Your Mercifulness, your testimony, if you please. Well, here we go, guys. The lawyer's theory is absurd. Now I shall destroy your utterly absurd and barbarous theory. I was not anywhere near the tomb following the murder. Were your theory correct, I would have been in the tomb once I had stopped channeling. My husband Dhurke is the killer, but he has fled from the sacred hall. May the Holy Mother rain judgment upon the traitor Dhurke Sadmati for his crimes. Oh, such marvelous testimony. You are truly a treasure, Your mercifulness. This, too, is but by the grace of Her Holiness. No doubt my unmasking here today was her will as well. Oh my, the Holy Mother, you say? Yes, surely Her Holiness has guided me to this witness stand. Huh? And to the purity of truth. Where did these creatures come from? One of them's a tiger? Oh, how magnificent! Queen Amara, the Holy Mother's messenger here on earth. Praise be for Queen Amara, blessings upon her mercifulness. Where did those animals even come from? Now then, the defense may question the witness. But remember, she is a grand priestess, so disrespect will not be tolerated. That means no pointing out conflicts, inconsistencies, or any other flaws in her testimony. Welp. That is a freaking tiger. Yes, it is. Well, better save, guys. Press.
Hold it!
My theory is utterly absurd and barbarous? And high-handed, if I may say so. Nayuta was right to call you putrid-minded. Surely, even the monkeys of Mount Pony's holy waterfalls could devise a better theory. Surely you can steal better insults than Nayuta's best. Now then, to all of you gathered in this sacred hall, need I remind you? I was not anywhere near the tomb following the murder.
Hold it!
Well, maybe you were hiding inside the sarcophagus. After all, it does technically belong to you. I bet you'd have no trouble opening it. If I had been in there, I could not be here today, for the tomb has been under constant surveillance since the murder. I would have never been able to leave. I guess not. If I might ask, what's in that sarcophagus anyway? You're still alive, so... There is despair, sadness, hatred, and malice. Only one brave enough to see with the truth hidden deep within could discover the final hope, my continued core You completely lost me. In other words, it's empty. But no one dared to open it because they were too scared of the curse. Now will you dispense with your theory? It is as empty as my sarcophagus. Were your theory correct, I would have been in the tomb once I had stopped channeling.
Hold it!
I'll admit you weren't in the tomb after the murder. Very good, but that very truth refutes your theory. Even if I had channeled Minister Inga and entered the tomb, the moment I ceased channeling him, I would have re-emerged at the crime scene. Precisely. As you said yourself, Defense, Queen Amara was not there after the murder. The only living souls in the tomb at that time were Dhurke, Sadmati, and Maya Fey. Be it in this life or the next, there is no escaping such simple truths. My husband, Dhurke, is the killer, but he has fled from the sacred hall.
Hold it!
There must be a reason why he had to make his escape today. A reason? Ah, perhaps. Perhaps what? Perhaps to conceal himself and lie in wait for another chance to claim my life. What's this?
Objection!
No, it's definitely not like that, Your Honor, Your Mercifulness. First of all, you don't really believe he's trying to kill you, do you? After all, you two ran off together after he rescued you all those years ago. That was only because he had the audacity to claim it wasn't me. You must believe me. It was my duty as a wife to her husband to bend an ear to him, was it not? Communication after disagreement is the secret to a long and happy marriage. Sure, I guess. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Don't ask me. That is why I listened to Dhurke. However, he didn't have a shred of evidence to support his claim. It grieves me to admit it, but my husband truly did try to murder me. That's quite enough. It's abundantly clear that Queen Amara's testimony is flawless. Oh, do you understand now, lawyer? No, this is bad. The judge isn't going to let me cross-examine her much longer. Amara should have been in the tomb after the minister's murder, but she wasn't. I don't get it. How could she just vanish from the scene of the crime like that? It shouldn't be possible for normal people, too. For normal people. Ah! Maybe? Maybe what? Your Majesty? I think I can explain why Queen Amara wasn't there in the tomb after the murder. Very well, Defense. Do explain. I believe it was accomplished through a method only she is capable of, and by using this special method, it would be possible for her to literally disappear. Well, don't keep us waiting. Let's hear it. How did Queen Amara disappear from the tomb? She channeled someone. All she had to do was channel someone, then she could easily disappear from the scene of the crime. After all, she would literally be someone else. Why, I believe that actually makes sense. What do you have to say to that, Queen Amara? You believe that I, a Grand Priestess, would use the sacred power of a spirit channeling to commit murder? Ah! What the? Eek! Mercy, your mercifulness! Are we dead now, guys? You're getting sleepy? Aw, good night, Mafia babe. Next time we play this game, you'll see the ending of this case. But take care! Bye! How dare you spew such vile blasphemy, defense! You will retract your last statement, or face immediate execution. No, good Majesty, it is quite all right. Quranism also teaches that we must respond at all times with reason principle. Therefore, I shall offer a measured response to his blasphemous accusation. You have something to counter with? Indeed. Now are you listening? It would not have been possible to simply vanish by means of spirit channeling. Lean into Apollo. Lean into? You mean lean into her? After all, it would require a deceased person to channel. However, there was only one murder victim in the tomb. And that was Minister Inga, the only others there right after his murder. Were Dhurke and Miss Faye. Ah, had I channeled Inga as you allege? Well, the outcome would have been quite odd to say the least, for there beside the dead minister a living, breathing one would have appeared. Even if I had been in the tomb, there was no one to channel except the deceased minister. So you see, I could not have vanished by means of spirit channeling. Grr, that's true, but I can't rule it out yet. Because, well, what if there was another victim? Someone we haven't identified yet. How absurd. If you channeled someone other than Minister Inga, you could have used their identity to disappear from the tomb. Another victim? Queen Amara? Please add your last statement to your testimony. This could explain everything. Wasn't there some sign of another victim there in the tomb? And yet, why do I sense I'm not going to like what I'm about to find out? Minister Inga was the sole victim. There was no other spirit to channel until, he was dead. Really? Well, what about the mysterious bloodstain?
Objection!
I can't believe I'm presenting this, but it proves that there was another victim. Still, the only ones there at the scene of the crime were... No, it can't be. Would the defense care to share something with us? Queen Amara, you knew, didn't you? Whatever are you talking about? If you won't tell this court, then I will. Well, don't keep us waiting. This case includes a second victim. One of the two people found alive in the tomb after the minister's murder was actually already dead. But a second victim, Apollo? Queen Amara, after you channeled Minister Inga and moved to the tomb, you vanished from the scene above the crime by channeling the other victim. That explains why no one found you after the murder was discovered. Oh, you putrid pepper, of all the half-witted buffoonery to come tumbling from your lips. But suppose I indulge you and play along with your little delusion. Tell me, Mr. Justice, who was the other victim? There's no way this can be true. But... No, I can't stop now. If this is the truth, it's the only way forward to solving this case. The other victim who Queen Amara channeled was... Yeah, this answer kinda sucks, guys. Listen, son, even if you manage to prove me innocent tomorrow, I don't have long to live. There is no escaping death now that it has set its sights on me. Dhurke knew everything, but he couldn't bring himself to tell me. I have one more big secret. I'm afraid I can't tell you what it is. I'd be betraying a certain someone if I did. He couldn't accuse the love of his life. The sad truth is, the other victim channeled by Amara was...
Take that!
What? You can't. That's not possible! The defendant, Dhurke Sadmati, is the one Queen Amara channeled. He is the other victim. This is insanity. Polkunka! Apollo, what are you... Do you realize what you're proposing?
Objection.
I demand an explanation, Mr. Justice. I don't know when or why Dhurke was murdered, but the facts and evidence speak for themselves. And this is where they've led me. Once again, I bet you didn't expect that, huh, guys? I see. After Inga's murder, Dhurke and Maya were the only ones in the tomb. But if one of them was actually dead and being channeled by Amara, but it can't be, can it? Dhurke's bloodstain at the scene of the crime was the clincher for me. You certainly didn't. Yeah, me neither. He wasn't even injured, so how could he have possibly bled that much? The only logical explanation is Dhurke had also been murdered.
Objection.
That's enough. Your explanation cannot be the truth, and you would not dare to claim to have proof to support your assertion. Nayuta, I wish it weren't true. I wish with all my heart that I'm wrong. But as much as I don't want to believe it, yes, I can prove it. Dhurke's killer must have hidden his body. It would have to be somewhere nobody would ever look. And there is only one such place. You truly have proof? The fastest way would be to actually have someone go check the tomb. Go check the tomb? But why? Because I believe Dhurke's killer hid his body here. In the place. You would suggest? Queen Amara's sarcophagus, the only place in the tomb that no one would dare to look. Plus, a killer would soon become trapped by hiding in there. But a body? Well, that's a horse of a different color. Which means... I believe we must search the sarcophagus at once. Your Eminence, being that Queen Amara yet lives, I trust we may now open it? If we must. Your Majesty, I believe Detective Skye is still there at the tomb. Let us contact her at once and have her conduct a full investigation into the matter. Oh dear, maybe Apollo's wrong? Now then, Detective Skye, your report if you please. I'll start with my findings. Please, please, please let me be wrong about this. I just want things to be as they were. A search of the sarcophagus revealed a body that appears to be several days old. A body? Detective Skye, tell me it wasn't Dhurke. Tell me my whole theory was completely off base. I have a photo of the body, and I have positively identified it as... No. Dhurke Sadmati. Dhurke! No! Why? Why did this have to happen? Damn it, Dhurke. Answer me. Yeah, that sucks. How can this be? Heh heh heh. The traitorous snake, the very head of the insurgency, murdered. Oh, what a joyous day. Those fools shouting for change and revolution, will finally return to whatever rocks they crawled out from under. That explains why the servant was missing, because she was in prison. She was, as Dhurke was. Grr. Nah. Who? What? What was I even fighting for? Apollo. What am I supposed to do now? Dot 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 dots dot. Son? A lawyer should never look the way you do right now. A dragon never yields. Rawr. Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard, and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get the truth. But, Dhurke, what if the truth is that you're... Apollo, in court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth, no matter what it turns out to be. I know that because I believe in you. You're my son, after all. You believed in me that much, Dhurke? Yeah, even during that time, Dhurke was dead. Dhurke, I think I finally understand. I can't yield. Not now, not ever. Not after Dhurke believed in me, despite knowing what was about to happen. Besides, Dhurke left me with two things I must do. Are you alright, Apollo? Sorry about that, Mr. Wright. But I'm fine now. Apollo? Detective Sky? Yes? How sure are you that the body's been there for a few days? I'm positive. No autopsy's been performed yet, but I'd say it's been at least 3 days. Fortunately, the low temperature inside the sarcophagus kept it from decaying. Oh, and the chest area bore 3 gunshot wounds from a small caliber weapon. I believe that they are the cause of death. 3 times in the chest. At least 3 days, huh? That means Dhurke was already dead by the time he came to visit me back in the States. Then who was channeling him? I think it would have to be someone who could get into and stay in the U.S. without arousing suspicion. It also had a solid cover story, so they wouldn't be seen as missing. I believe this is who was channeling Dhurke, when I saw him in the States. Turns out, she was safe all this time, guys. Kind of.
Take that!
Maya? Oh, I see. She was being held hostage at the time, so it seemed only natural that she wasn't around. Right, and do you remember what she said earlier? So please just tell me, what exactly are you hiding? Sorry, but I promised Dhurke I wouldn't say. You made a promise to Dhurke? Mm-hmm, a pretty big one. Dhurke didn't want his own death to be known. The other members of the Defiant Dragons would lose all hope if they found out. And that would snuff out the flames of revolution for good. Miss Faye, Dhurke told you to keep quiet about this, didn't she? I guess it's no use hiding it anymore. Yes, I promised not to tell. Dhurke made me promise before he died. So, I was right then. Apollo? There's something I need to tell you. It's about, you know, Dhurke's final moments. I'm listening, Miss Faye. What happened in his final moments? It was soon after I was kidnapped. Dhurke paid me a visit in that tomb where I was being held captive. I'd say it was a few days before Minister Inga's murder. Hey, young lady. Time to get you up and out of here. Oh! Gasp. It's that revolutionary guy. I'm here to rescue you. You are? Why? I figured things were a little too quiet with that stamp-sucking scumbag, so I started digging around. That's when I found out you'd been abducted. But why would a rebel help me? Let's go before it is too late. It's already is for you, pal. Dick Gumshoe? Oh, Inga. Hehehe, long time no see, you rebel blowhard. Inga, I know you're up to something, and I'm going to find out what. Ah! Oh dear. That's kinda smart. You become a real thorn in my side, see? So it's time for you to be pushing up daisies. Ah! Gah! Dhurke! Heh, did you really think a pea shooter like that could kill a dragon? What the? Ah! Whoa, what are you, some kind of freak? Nuts to this. Well, since we know who killed Dhurke, where would Inga be on the kill this man list? Where would you say? Where's his proper position? Dhurke was shot several times, but he barely even flinched. He sacrificed himself for me. Herg. Arg, these ropes. Herg, I've gotta help you. On a scale of 1 to kill this man, he'd be a 9. Yeah, pretty dang high. Relax, it's going to be okay. Sorry things turned out this way, but it doesn't look like I have much longer. No, don't say that. You're a spirit medium, aren't you? When I'm gone, I want you to channel my spirit. Stop it! Don't give up like that! If you do, untying a rope like that'll be child's play. No! Sniffle! Please! Hang in there! You can still make it! Promise. Promise me. One thing, young lady. It's about my son. Dhurke was talking about you, Apollo. He said he wanted to see you one last time, so he asked me to return to the US and channel his spirit. He really said that? Mm-hmm. He also said he'd been meaning to visit you for years, but kept putting it off, and that this was his last chance. just show up here without warning after all this time? What gives? I came all this way to see you, son. Come, rejoice. Right. Why don't you tell me the real reason you're here? Dhurke, you really did come to the US because you wanted to see me. I guess this means it was Inga that hid Dhurke's body in the sarcophagus after Maya left the tomb. Apollo, you can't stop now. Dhurke would want you to keep pressing on. I know, Miss Faye, and I won't disappoint him. Defense, if you are ready to proceed, I would first have you answer this. Do you believe the accused's death will impact what we know about this case? Yes, and I believe I can explain everything now. Very well. Your explanation, please. Dhurke entered the tomb at 3 p.m., the time the hostage exchange was to take place. Or rather, Dhurke, as channeled by Miss Faye, did. Now, by the time he entered the tomb at 3 p.m., Minister Inga was already dead. I say that because we know the minister was murdered at 2 p.m. But there was someone else in there. This person was already hiding in the tomb waiting to channel Dhurke in place of Miss Faye. It was the Queen!
Take that!
Okay. If it was you, wasn't it? The fact of the matter is, Queen Amara killed Minister Inga at 2 p.m. Well, duh, the accused is dead. On the kill this list, he's already dead. Since then, went to his private quarters and channeled his spirit. A minister, thinking he was going to be late, hurried to the tomb for the hostage exchange. Bye, in we go. But once in the tomb, Queen Amara stopped channeling Minister Inga and hid herself. Then when Dhurke entered at 3 p.m., she snuck up from behind and forcibly drove Dhurke's spirit out of Miss Faye's body. Drove his spirit out of her body? Impossible.
Objection!
Actually, there is a way to do that. With a Magatama of parting, that is. Using one, anyone could drive a spirit out of a person's body, even if it refused to leave. Arg. Are you telling me that this extra pale brown Magatama in the tomb was... That it was. That's right, Prosecutor Sadmati, and you've seen one in action before. You saw how the glowing red Magatama sent the High Priest back into the Twilight Realm. And how it turned a spent, pale brown afterward. In other words, the brown Magatama found in the tomb looked that way because its power had been used up in pushing Dhurke's spirit out of Miss Faye's body, right? I probably passed out as soon as Dhurke's spirit left my body. I was exhausted after channeling him for so long, after all. After that, Queen Amara must have dressed Miss Faye in her usual outfit and tied her up. I'm not sure where she got the outfit, but we can assume she had it all planned out. Then, Queen Amara must have changed into Dhurke's clothes, smeared blood onto them, picked up the knife, and channeled Dhurke's spirit. That's how she made it look like Dhurke had committed the crime. And that's how she escaped, right under our noses. Gah! I don't know, Apollo. The whole thing still seems a bit far-fetched. Dhurke, what was going through your mind while all of this was unfolding? So ultimately, it was all for naught. Nayuta? Those dreams of revolution Dhurke was always spouting. They placed nothing but false hopes in the minds of the people, and in the end, they were simply fantasies. Nayuta, how can you... karma has spoken. The dream of revolution has withered on the vine. Its fate is sealed. The other insurgents will soon wake from their shattered dreams. No, Dhurke's dream can't die like this. I'm not going to sit back and let that happen. I can't and I won't. Nayuta, don't forget that Dhurke has been proven innocent. His name is no longer tainted by the charge of murder. Now the rebels and their sympathizers who have been calling for his release can't be charged with abetting the accused, so the revolution is far from over. It's only just begun. It's only just No, Dhurke has not been proven innocent. You have merely indicated the possibility of his innocence. What do you mean? Dhurke is indeed dead. However, what if it was Dhurke who killed Minister Inga while being channeled by Miss Faye? And while the crime could have occurred at 2 p.m., you have yet to substantively prove it. Or do you have conclusive proof that the time of Minister Inga's death was at 2 p.m.? Well, no, I don't, but... It seems further testimony will be required of me. As it would appear that I have fallen under suspicion, I would like to state my case. Prosecutor Sadmati, the rebellion must be snuffed out once and for all. You must prove Dhurke Sadmati to be the foul murderer that he was. And every last insurgent and their sympathizers must be found guilty under the Defense Culpability Act. As you wish, Your Eminence. Why is Nayuta doing this? Garan shouldn't have him under her thumb anymore. Mora's not a hostage, so what gives? Nayuta, what's left to chain you to her like this? Very well then, Queen Amara. Please proceed with your conditional testimony. Well done, lawyer. You have painted me as a killer with nothing but your silver tongue. With nothing. However, you have no evidence proving your distasteful theory. Furthermore, Dhurke could have committed the crime while being channeled by Miss Faye. Now let us end this charade. For the eternal glory of Karatin and its people. That freaking tiger. Do you understand now, you putrid pepper? There is no point in defending Dhurke any longer. It has all been in vain. Let it go and move on, right? Well, not today. Your theories are but a pillar of salt that crumbles at the slightest breeze. But no more. This ends here and now. The defense may begin with its cross-examination. You have no proof. Well done, lawyer. You did the thing with the painting of me with the killer or whatever. However, you have no evidence to proving your distasteful theory, but you can press. Wait, don't do it.
Hold it!
Darn it. I admit I don't have any solid evidence. Yet. But you're the only one who could have committed the crime. What on earth do you mean? Including Miss Faye, there are only 3 spirit mediums in Karatin. Furthermore, when the crime scene was first discovered, Queen Garan was with me and Mr. Wright, while Miss Faye was tied up in the tomb. That means that the Dhurke we saw after the minister's murder could only have been channeled by you, Queen Amara. Insolent lawyer! Eek! Forgive us your mercifulness. Really, your majesty? But have you considered the following defense? What if there was, unbeknownst to us, another spirit medium in Karatin? Oh, come on! What are the chances? You lack the evidence to support your claims that Queen Amara is the killer, which is why you have had to use the process of elimination to zero in on her. And it therefore stands to reason that you would have to rule out all other possibilities as well. Well, can you eliminate the possibility of another spirit medium defense? Of course I can't. Under the circumstances, Apollo, there are 2 ways to establish Amara's guilt. We either prove she killed Inga, or prove she was in the tomb. Which one can I actually prove? I can prove that she was in the tomb. I can prove that Queen Amara was in the tomb when the murder occurred. It seems you are ever bent on painting me as the killer. Well, if the shoe fits. Very well, let us see some evidence that proves I was at the scene of the crime. You do have some, do you not? There is nothing to prove I was even at the scene of the crime. Well, how about a butterfly?
Objection!
Queen Amara. It's the tomb, or in the tomb. The tomb is the, evidence. Does this pendant look familiar to you? Why, that is. We found it in the tomb, and it has the minister's blood on it, which means it was probably dropped in the course of the crime. And I fail to see how it is relevant to your argument. Did that not belong to the accused? That's what I thought too. After all, Dhurke had said he did it himself. He said that? Yes, but it was a lie, because I believe he was covering for someone. Covering? How? For who? There is a certain piece of evidence that shows the pendant isn't Dhurke's. It's the thing.
Take that!
That's a photo of the accused's body, is it not? Yes, it is, and I'd like to call your attention to a certain spot in it. This right here proves that the pendant was found in the tomb wasn't Dhurke's. This random section of the tomb. Yep, that's it. Definitely not this thing. That's just crazy.
Take that!
Oops. You will notice an object near Dhurke's left arm. It's an identical pendant, except it's blue. Oh, now that you mention it. Don't you find that a little strange? Why would he own two of them, but in different colors? Here's what I think. The pendants were meant to go together as a pair. A pair? If the blue pendant was Dhurke's, and then what about this pink one with Minister Inga's blood on it? Who do you suppose it belongs to?
Objection!
Sorry to disappoint, but no fingerprints were found on the pink pendant. Therefore, we have no way of knowing to whom it belongs.
Objection!
Ah, but that's where you're wrong, Prosecutor Sanmari. I'm guessing you didn't know that this pendant is actually a locket. Come again? Now this is where it gets interesting. When we open this locket up, we found a faint fingerprint inside, on the back of the lid to be exact. What? No. So now the question is, to whom does the fingerprint belong? No as an apple? Huh? No as an apple? What does that mean? Queen Amara, it belongs to you, doesn't it? Oh. Nah. It seems I've truly rendered the witness speechless this time around. This cannot be. Mother, tell me it does not belong to you. Nayuta, they were made as a pair, not as an apple. No as an apple. What? They were made as a pair, no as an apple? I don't get the reference, I'm sorry. I am stupid. Please go into detail. Think about it, Queen Amara. Dhurke must have realized that you were channeling his spirit, and he had probably already figured out who the minister's killer was. And yet, he still claimed that the pink pendant belonged to him. But why would he do such a thing? You really don't know? He was protecting you. Because he loved you. He loved you until his very last breath, and beyond. I have one more big secret. I'm afraid I can't tell you what it is. I'd be betraying a certain someone if I did. Dhurke knew everything, even that he was being used. Pear, fruit. I can't make a connection like that. Come on. Instead of being made as a pear, the fruit they were made as an apple. I'm not gonna know that. I can't make connections like that. Come on. Come on, bro. But he kept quiet, all for your sake. Dhurke, why do you always... Let me have your dumb wordplay, damn you. Well, at least explain it a little bit. Cheapers. Well, Queen Amara, Dhurke, the one whose love for you never wavered all these years. Are you going to betray him now? Dhurke, I... Ah! That was a very elegant breakout. This cannot be. I refuse to accept it. Queen Amara, are you ready to confess to your crime? I can deny it no longer. The truth is, it was I, Amara Segator Karatin, who slew Minister Inga. That's preposterous! What? Why? Well, looks like you were wrong this time, Captain Chips. So where would she be on the kill this man list? This is beyond belief. Mother, why would you... Forgive me, Nayuta. I never wished to cause you such sorrow. But I had no choice. It was the only way. The only way? So, in the end, Queen Amara and Dhurke Sadmati, suppose this means that they were unable to reconcile while he was still alive. I don't think the state of the kingdom or the incidents of the past would have allowed that. You seriously think it's for a moment that you believe there wasn't a one more twist in this? No, there's no more twists. No more. Case over. They were prisoners of their shared backstory, of their shared history, so to speak. Queen Amara, there's something I need to know. You had staged a near-perfect crime, so why did you bring this pendant into the tomb with you? You should have known it could come back to haunt you. I do not really understand it myself. I had nearly been assassinated by my own husband, yet I cannot bear any hatred toward him. I was unable to discard this or part with it for even a short time. As with Dhurke, I have never stopped loving my husband for the past 23 years. Mother. So she really believes it, that Dhurke tried to assassinate her? Your Majesty, is it not time? Time to declare Dhurke innocent? I would ask that you do this for my beloved, who now dwells in the Twilight Realm. Very well then. Your Eminence, Prosecutor Sadmati, if you have no further objections. This cannot be. My mother. I have no objections. Dhurke, I did it. I finally did it. I prove your innocence. But... Very well then. Being that Queen Amara yet lives, we can no longer charge the accused with an assassination that never came to fruition. As for the murder of Minister Inga, the truth has been laid bare for all to see. Therefore, I will now pass judgment upon the accused Mr. Dhurke Sadmati. Oh! Your benevolence? I cannot accept this. Is something the matter, your benevolence? Queen Amara is lying. It makes no sense. Queen Amara would not have killed my father. What's with her all of a sudden? Is this some sort of lingering affection toward Nena? Rayfa. Speak the truth, Queen Amara. Did you really kill my father? Yes, there is no mistake. She has confessed to the crime, thereby clearing the accused of all suspicion. As such, I see no need to continue these proceedings. But Barbed Head, Hornhead, are you going to let this stand? Dhurke's been proved innocent, and he's about to be declared not guilty. Even so, something doesn't feel right. Apollo, if you have any doubts, now is the time to raise them. After all, the courtroom is a place for finding the whole truth. But it's all up to you. There are definitely things that don't quite add up. Does this mean that the whole truth hasn't been brought to light yet? Should I push to continue this trial? Yeah, let's do it. Your Majesty, I have a feeling we haven't discovered the whole truth, and the only way we'll ever find it is to continue this trial. Hornhead! Very well then, will the defense please tell us this? While important fact about the case is yet to come into light. The motive. How about that? Queen Amara, there's something I still don't understand. What was your motive for killing Justice Minister Inga? That is a fair question, and one that I shall now answer. It was for the future of this kingdom that I slew Inga Karkul Karatin. Can you say his full name, Amara? To avert further tragedy, his death was an unfortunate necessity. Further tragedy? Over the past several years, Minister Inga had been rapidly expanding his power. He had established the secret police and was relentless in his pursuit of the insurgents. He even had the overwhelming support of the people, but he was still not satisfied. Hungry for more power, he began planning a coup d'etat. You mean his plot involving the Founder's Orb, which led to Miss Maya Fey's abduction? Yes, Minister Inga planned to use the orb to gain access to great spiritual power, after which he would assassinate Garan and usurp the throne. His machinations were reminiscent of that terrible tragedy of 23 years ago, and as one affected by that incident, Amara vowed to never allow a repeat of such events. Yes, and the Holy Mother delivered unto me the perfect opportunity to fulfill my vow. Security amid the courtyard was rather light due to the rite of channeling, and Inga had barricaded himself in the tomb with his hostage, away from prying eyes. I knew I would never again have such a perfect opportunity, so... At 2 p.m. during the rite of channeling, I slipped into the tomb and slew the minister. Oh! My bracelet! Apollo? Yep, it seems this trial is far from over. Queen Amara, I believe you're still hiding something. But if you want to keep on playing this game of hide-and-seek, then let's start with that last statement you made. If I must. Alright. Give me a second. Here we go. Hands. Left middle finger. Wait a minute. Oh. Here's the middle finger. There it is. It's up there, guys. And look what that finger's doing. Very tricky.
Gotcha!
Gotcha, Queen Amara, you're not very comfortable talking about the 2 o'clock rite of channeling, are you? I can tell because a finger on your left hand twitched almost imperceptibly when you did. Oh? And that pose you make, is there something about your chest that makes you nervous? Whatever do you mean? The murder occurred at 2 p.m., and I'm pretty positive that Amara was in the tomb at that time. So then why is she so self-conscious about her chest when she talks about the rite? The rite of channeling? Didn't Albie snap a picture of it? Queen Amara, I have here a picture of the rite of channeling. It was secretly taken by a certain individual. Such insolence. I would have the perpetrator's name at once. Sorry, no can do. You see, I just happened to find it on the ground, so... Do you take me for a fool? How about we discuss the photo's origin a little later, because right now... Apollo survives this. There's something much more pressing at hand. I believe this photo merits further examination. I just wish there was more to see in it than darkness and more darkness. I might be able to make out a few details with some image adjustments. Let's ask Emma if she can help. Bailiff, please summon Detective Sky to the Hall of Justice. Right. Here you are. I was able to obtain a much clearer image by raising the brightness. Ooh. What's that right there? Am I an injury? No, wait. I think it's a burn scar. Wait a second. Your Eminence. You don't have a burn scar like that on your chest. What's going on here? If the person in this photo isn't Queen Garon, then who is it? It's, the Queen. Obviously. Queen Amara, the person in this photo isn't Queen Garon. It's you, posing as her, isn't it? The two of you look quite similar, but that's no surprise considering you're sisters. Even the shape and position of your facial tattoos are almost exactly the same. And you are both capable of channeling spirits. Therefore, it would have been easy for you to impersonate Queen Garan. Queen Amara, you have a burn scar on your chest, don't you? Please remove your round mandala so we can see what's behind it for ourselves. And please remove it in a dramatic fashion. Eek! Thank you. Look! It's the exact same burn scar as the one in the photo. I don't understand. I knew it. So the person in this photo really is... Yes, it's Queen Amara. This is absurd. Are you suggesting they switch places? Amara's confession earlier was also false? Mother, what is the meaning of this? Don't you see? This changes everything. We know for a fact that this photo was taken at 2 p.m. The exact time the murder took place. But that would make Queen Garan couldn't... That would mean Queen Amara couldn't possibly have committed this crime. Exactly. She now has an ironclad alibi. So Minister Inga's killer couldn't have been Queen Amara. I am afraid I no longer follow defense. Was it not Queen Amara who channeled this minister and the accused to stage the crime? Yes, that fact has not changed. We have evidence placing her at the scene of the crime. And Dhurke could have been only there in the tomb if she was channeling him. Which means... While Queen Amara did use spirit channeling to stage the crime, she didn't kill Minister Inga. His real killer is someone else. Polkunka! What's going on here? Was her mercifulness covering for someone? If Queen Amara is not the killer, then who is it? Isn't it obvious? Why was this rite held in the first place if Queen Garan wasn't going to perform it? Who was behind the two sisters switching places and for what reason? The answers to these questions, along with the establishment of Queen Amara's alibi, obliterates a certain someone else's alibi. Fine, Captain Ships, fine. You're right.
Take that!
Why, is that some kind of joke? No, Your Majesty, I can never joke about something so grave. The only one who seemed to have a perfect alibi at the time of the murder was Her Eminence Garan Sigator Karayan. Queen Amara, didn't your sister Queen Garan ask you to pose as her and perform the rite of channeling? And didn't she also have you drive Dhurke's spirit away from Miss Faye's body and then stage the crime to make it look like he was the minister's killer? And at 2 p.m., while you were performing the rite of channeling as Queen Garan, didn't she kill Minister Inga while disguised as Dhurke? Well, your mercifulness. It's no use trying to hide it any longer. You need to tell us the truth now. We're gonna get our confession, guys. Mother! Finally. Justice Minister Inga's true killer is... Huh? Oh no. Mother? No! Ha 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 ha! I really did it! Your Eminence, my life is yours! Isn't he one of Garan's royal guards? Queen Amara! Bailiff, arrest that guardsman! Mother! Garan couldn't have... Could she? Someone call for an ambulance, quickly now! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think. You know what I mean? I do in fact think. Holy crap. We're lucky the ambulance made it in time, but we've been forced into a recess for now while things get straightened out. I can't believe what just happened. Tell me about it. Do you think Garan put that guard up to it? If she did, she's going to regret it. No one gets away with something like that on my watch. Poor Queen Amara. Your benevolence? Any news on her condition? She is undergoing surgery at the hospital as we speak. They are giving her a 50-50 chance of survival, though. That Garan! Justice will be served! Why? Why did this happen? Oh, just as we were finally reunited. Oh, Queen Amara. What was that thing? What was that about being reunited? Oh, it's nothing. Right. How are you, Hornhead? Dhurke Sadmati was your father in all but blood. After all... Thank you for your concern, your benevolence, but I'm fine. Right now we still have a trial to see through, so that's what I'm going to stay focused on. Hornhead, you are sturdier than your stature lets on. Just don't overdo it, okay, Apollo? Dhurke, that was a real shocker, alright. Can't believe that the dragon is dead. That's... Say, AJ, I was wondering... When Dhurke disappeared after I freed him, that's because Amara turned back into herself, right? Yeah, I suppose so, but I don't know if it was because Dhurke's spirit willed it, or if it was part of Garan or Amara's plan. Man, our dream of revolution. Now what are we gonna do? Is this it? Don't give up yet. There's a very good chance that Garan is the real culprit in all this. And if we can prove her guilt in court... Hey, you're right. That should be just the push we need. The dream lives on. Yes, it does. You know what that means, AJ? The fate of the revolution rests squarely on your shoulders. All in a day's work. Arg, who am I kidding? That's a ton of pressure. Pressure? But this is what Dhurke gave his life for, so I have to do this for him. The Honorable Rebel Dhurke Sadmati. I would have loved to have spoken with him while he yet lived. Really? What? Why not? I mean, he seemed like quite an interesting man. Did she bump her head or something earlier? The trial is about to resume. The defense is to report to the courtroom at once. Already? After what just happened? The first thing Garan will do is respond to that last accusation, so you'd better stay on your toes, Apollo. I will, Mr. Wright. Ready or not, Garan, here comes justice! Alright, here we go. Now then, let us resume today's proceedings. Huh? Where's Nayuta? I must offer my apologies. I never imagined a royal guardsman would do such a thing. What? He wasn't acting under your orders? How dare you cast such suspicions upon Her Eminence? It is quite all right, Your Majesty. Suspicion is only natural under such circumstances. But rest assured that he acted alone, for I knew nothing of his plans. I don't believe that for a second. Now then, Your Majesty, regarding the murder of my husband, Minister Inga, I would like to offer a new possibility. A new possibility, you say? Indeed, for during the break, the real killer confessed to me. What? Bailiff, call the witness to the stand. The real killer confessed? What she got up to her sleeve this time? I have a really bad feeling about this. Ooh, who could the real killer be? Oh, it's Prosecutor Nayuta. He's the real killer. He's the one who confessed? Prosecutor Sadmati, you're the real killer? I questioned him during the recess, and I felt that Amara had been covering for someone, so it was that he finally confessed his crime to me. Nayuta, you didn't really do it, did you? Her Eminence speaks the truth. It was I who killed Justice Minister Inga. Nayuta! Welp, that's not good. Peace. Prosecutor Sadmari, are you absolutely certain about this? A confession of this nature is grave indeed. Yes, I am certain, for I killed him by my own hand. At last, the real killer has been revealed. How are we supposed to respond to this? Nayuta, retract your confession, now! Mr. Justice, it is not yet time for your cross-examination. What? Who cares about that? Admit it. It was Queen Garan who put you up to this. You ain't subtle, you witch with the capital B? Yep. She's the biggest witch with the biggest B. You are out of line, Mr. Justice. Learn some self-restraint. Arg, but... Or do you have something that might prove that I did not commit this murder? That is... What do you think you're doing, you idiot? Surely the truth can set us free. Looks like Garan got to him somehow. I definitely didn't see this coming. Nayuta, why are you doing this? Why would you sacrifice even your life to do Garan's bidding? Whatever the case may be, Prosecutor Sadmari, your testimony, please. Please. Nayuta's confession. I cannot remain silent while Her Eminence fell under suspicion for this crime. It was I who murdered Justice Minister Inga. He had to die for the future of Karatin. I consider it divine judgment cast upon a fiend who sought to assassinate our monarch. My mother was simply covering for me. I am ashamed I let her go so far for my sake. You do understand what you're doing, right, Nayuta? You're sentencing yourself to death if you're found guilty. If that is the court's verdict, then so be it. I must obey the law above all else. The law, Nayuta, or the queen? Enough. This blather has nothing to do with the witness's testimony. I am the law. Please address any issues you may have during the cross-examination, defense. Oh, I will. I'm going to blow his problematic testimony to smithereens. Like this. Bang! I cannot redo things. It was I who did the thing, and it was bad. I had to die for the future, and he is a big jerk. And he was a bad guy. Mother was simply covering for me. I am ashamed I let her go so far for my sake.
Hold it!
So you killed Minister Inga and Queen Amara staged the crime? Is that how it went? Precisely. My mother is as clever as she is kind. She sought to conceal my crime by taking all of the guilt upon herself. Yet another lie. Need to poke holes in his testimony, but how? Nayuta, could it be you? Didn't know Naina's real identity? Didn't realize that Naina was actually Queen Amara, your own mother? That is not as strange as you might think. Much time has passed since we last met, after all. Right. 23 years ago, was it? When Dhurke saved her after the supposed assassination attempt? No, Mr. Justice. It was 15 years ago that Dhurke abducted my mother. Huh? That's weird. Are you sure about that? I remember it clearly. I was around 10 years old at the time. Nayuta, please add that last statement to your testimony. I was reunited with my mother, Queen Amara, 15 years ago when Dhurke abducted her. Alright. Then what do you say to this?
Objection!
You're saying that Dhurke made off with Queen Amara 15 years ago. But that's strange, because I heard something very different from Dhurke. He said that they ran off together 23 years ago. That is impossible. I know for a fact it was 15 years ago. Well, I have evidence that contradicts your statement. How do you explain this photo? Dhurke said it was taken 23 years ago. He said that. He did, but if we take what you just said as fact, then there's something in this photo that doesn't make any sense. This isn't making any sense to me, so I suppose I should ask. What does not make sense in the photo is only 15 years old? Probably the... Babu?
Take that!
Nayuta, this discrepancy may not be directly related to this case, but I don't think we can simply overlook it either. Dhurke said the baby in the photo was you, but that doesn't make any sense if the photo's only 15 years old. After all, you said you were around 10 then, right? Dhurke. He's definitely sweating bullets over there over something. Apollo, if this baby isn't Nayuta? Wait, you don't think... Did Queen Amara have another child while she was on the run? Nayuta, you're 22, you're his son. Yep. What? And just what if that child were being held hostage? Nayuta, is that why you obey Queen Garan's every command? You presume too much. Ah, and that's why Queen Amara was trying to take the rap as well. To protect this other child. A child born 15 years ago. They would have to be someone who's around 14 or 15 years old now. This is just a guess. But I believe I know someone who fits the bill. This also explains the strange behavior. This is the child who was born to Dhurke and Queen Amara 15 years ago. Trucy? No, that wouldn't make sense. Albie! Oh, no, it's her. All those strange statements she kept making, now they all make sense. Prosecutor Sadmati, may I ask you something? Of course, Your Benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara? And about me? From where did you hear such a thing? From Mother, and only yesterday. Rafa was carrying on about telling the truth to the people, so I told her what the truth really was, for it is up to a mother to discipline her child. I see. I cannot accept this. Is something the matter, Your Benevolence? Queen Amara is lying. It makes no sense. Queen Amara would not have killed my father. Why? Why did this happen? Oh, just as we were finally reunited. Oh, Queen Amara. Now I see, Nayuta, why you do what you're told. The other child born to Dhurke and Queen Amara is... Hold it! Mr. Justice, I believe I know what you are about to say, but I cannot allow you to name an innocent soul as the child of terrible sinners. I thought you might try to stop me. After all, simple revealing this information endangers who you've been trying to protect. Urgh. I think this should make it clear what I'm talking about. This is the chink in your armor, the reason why you fear it for your sibling's reputation. It's the thing that's this thing.
Take that!
And that is a file full of information that Dhurke collected on what happened 23 years ago. Of particular note right now is what's written here. The sins of the father are visited upon by his children. Hang on a minute. Okay, by his children. This deeply held idea is why you were expelled from the royal family. Which means it wouldn't bode well for your sibling either, if she were revealed to be Dhurke's daughter. Gurk. You become a prosecutor to bring down Queen Garan, but at some point you came to serve the very regime you despised, and that was because the queen found this chink in your armor. That's how she came to use your sister against you. Nayuta, have you been keeping this secret all this time? Have you been trying to protect me? You are an innocent party to all this. I live only to safeguard the law and serve the country and queen from which it flows. One such as you, who is destined to ascend to the throne, need not fret over one such as I. No, I cannot accept that. What you say is... it's malarkey. Malarkey. Don't you even care what happens to you? Before country, queen, law, and everyone's future, my personal feelings are of no consequence. That is why I resign myself to my fate. I know I must accept the status quo without any thoughts of change. Spoken like a true prosecutor and patriot, I shall continue to rule Karatin until the day Rafa succeeds me, for that is what is best for our kingdom. I know, Your Eminence. Yours is no small sacrifice, but I promise you this, in exchange for your life, the child shall remain safe, and the kingdom shall prosper. That is all I can ask for with my meager existence. Nayuta, is this really the new you? Resigning yourself to the will of another and killing any hope you held for the future? No, the Nayuta I knew would never let himself be turned into this. Now, Your Majesty, if you would hand down your verdict...
Objection!
You can say you're simply accepting your fate, Nayuta, but I know that deep down there is still hope in your heart. Oh, Holy Mother, preserve me. It's the kind of hope that perseveres through the most desperate of times, and it's what binds you, me and Dhurke together, as a family. I know because this has demonstrated to me that you haven't lost all hope yet. The Dhurke's badge. When you interrogated Dhurke, you confiscated all of his possessions as potential evidence, all except this. Did he take your attorney's badge too? No, I thought it strange, but just when it looked like he was going to take it from me, he changed his mind. So, tell me, Nayuta, why didn't you take his badge? No. You couldn't bear to take it from him, could you? And I know why. It's because this badge means something special to us. Hey, Dhurke, why do you still wear your badge? You're not a lawyer anymore, right? This badge is my heart and soul, son. I'll never stop trying to realize my dream. Not until my very last breath. A dragon never yields. Or a dragon never yields, right? Exactly. Nayuta, Apollo, I vow to restore Karatan's legal system to its rightful state one day. I want to pass on to you a world where you can live free from the fear of tyranny. You may say you've given up, but that's not how it really is it? You never gave up, and you never will, because you still believe that all of the wrongs will be righted someday, don't you? You are very perceptive, Mr. Justice. It may very well be, as you say. Why did I not confiscate this badge? Even I did not know, until now. Perhaps I was waiting for him to save me. Save you? Yes, save me. Like he did on that day. Nayuta! Apollo! Hold on, I'm coming! What father wouldn't risk his life to save his own children? Nayuta, Apollo, don't you ever hesitate to call when you need me. Understand? Someday, he would come and free our family from the chains of the past. Perhaps, deep down, that is what I believed. I believed in Dhurke, our father. Nayuta, I knew you. However, it was but a dream, and now that dream has died. Murdered along with Dhurke. So now as the eldest, the responsibility falls squarely onto me. No matter the cost, I must protect her. Please try to understand, Apollo. Understand why I shall bear all this sin. It is the only way. But...
Such insolence!
You have wasted more than enough of my time, lawyer. Do you not see the futility of your desperate floundering, the immutability of his duty? It is time to accept defeat. Arg! Now watch as the hammer of justice comes down upon your dear brother. Your Majesty, the verdict, if you please. Yes, Your Eminence.
Objection!
Wait a second. What do I do? Does the defense wish to raise an objection? There's got to be some way to save Nayuta. Apollo, it all goes back to that incident 23 years ago. It branded him the son of a criminal. If we could once and for all prove that Dhurke didn't try to assassinate Amara, right, Nayuta and Rayfa's father would no longer be viewed as a criminal. But I thought there wasn't any evidence left. Because it was all destroyed in the fire. And Dhurke investigated the matter for years, but never managed to learn anything new. Really? Nothing at all? Could an exceptional lawyer like Dhurke try that long and really uncover nothing at all? He had over 2 decades, Apollo. Huh? He's right. I don't Dhurke would have gone to his grave without discovering something new. Must have secretly planted something to topple Garan with somewhere. take another look at the evidence. You just might find what we need to break out of the situation with in there. Got it! The defense is done stalling for time. I shall now render my verdict. No, wait. About the assassination attempt 23 years ago? The defense has some new information it would like to share. But we will have to share that information tomorrow. I'm going to save it right here, guys. And I'm going to switch games super quick. Because 1, it's almost 3, and 2, I kind of forgot to do this last night. Again, just like the last one. So, give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Yep, there it goes. So, everyone, I have a question. Who won the Splatfest? Did we save the world? Is the world just going to do whatever, or will it do its bucket list? Let's see. I'm not seeing a lot of hope personally, but never know. I don't think Save the World won the popular vote, but maybe it won other things, who knows. Alright, you guys ready? Listen up, it's going down. Repping the Splatlands, we are Deep Cut, Anarchy Splatcast. Here we go. Yeah. Aye, Shiver Frying Big Man. Aye, breaking news hot off the press. What's got you all flustered? Aye, it's the Splatfest results, get hype. You need to tell me twice, yeah! Alright, here we go. First up, Splatfest sneak peek results. The team with the most conch shells was... crap. Oh man. Same old, annihilated it. Wow, they crushed it. Next up, which team got the most votes? Get on the bandwagon for... Aye, come on. Aye. Yeah. 20%. Yeah, save the day. Something tells me it did not win. Pow, haha, hey. No way. Aye. What's next? Tell me. Time for a clout check. Open Pro and Tricolor clout. Count results incoming. All at once. Hold up. Need a moment to cool up before all this excitement. Bada. Aye. Wah. Aye. Woo! Aye. And last but not least, the part you've been waiting for. Final results, right? Spell 'em. Listen up, it's going down. The overall Splatfest winner goes to... I can't take the suspense. Yeah. Oh. By a hair. Oh, 395. What in the world are we going to do at the end of the world? Everything we want. I don't even have a bucket list. Aye. No, we didn't make it. Team Bucket List did so good. That's the spirit. I want to see when the world ends. Good on Team Same Old for sticking to our principles and not going the extra mile. I was so moved by the way Team Save the Day came together as one. Yeah, right there with you, Fry. Yeah. Alright, enlighten me. What are some of the items on your famed bucket list? Oh, you want to know now? First, I chow down while chatting with you two on an Anarchy Splatcast like normal. You'd host a snack review segment at the apocalypse? Actually, that tracks. Then the three of us could go shop for stuff that might help save the day. Huh? That all sounds like what Shiver and I wanted to do. Oh, it's cause the top of my bucket list is making sure you two have a good day. Aye. Sniffle. Aw, Fry. It's far too soon for the world to end. Perhaps Team Save the Day has a point. Why sweat it? It's not like anything that bad is gonna happen anytime soon. Well, there you go, guys. Will I ever be on the winning Splatfest team ever again? Something tells me no, but who cares? Well, guys, with that upsetting loss, I guess I'll end it there, huh? 40 levels, bring it on. Congrats, bucket list. There wasn't a lot of art last time. Morgana. Class of 2024, congratulations. Or graduation. At least the victims aren't exclusively based on popularity of the characters anymore. Yeah, for sure. I don't remember Fry being popular in the slightest. Alright, I'm done. Been a hot minute since I played. Chat, is this real? Alright, I'm done. Thank you for watching, guys. Tomorrow will be only a Skyrim stream. I know, right? Tomorrow will be only a Skyrim stream because I have the dentist to go to. So, wish me luck, guys. Hopefully I'll survive. And I'll see all of you on the tomorrows. Bye-bye!